Well, at least that message got through this morning.
Yes, thank goodness.
Yeah, and I read that and couldn't clock in. That kind of put a little panic in my heart.
Mm.
Hi, I'm Elmer.
And I'm Vanita.
I want to welcome you to Porch Friday Unplugged. If you haven't been following the news lately, that this past morning, yesterday overseas, a company called CrowdStrike and Microsoft 365 had a hiccup in one of their programs, and it caused a worldwide outage with some of the programs, including one of mine that was with work. It wasn't able to clock in and made it kind of a little bit panicky, and that's what we're going to talk about today. You know, one of those things that could happen is those bugs could get in any kind of computer or any kind of control software, and that could affect power grids, that could affect communications with cell phones. It could communicate anything, especially with digital, and especially with the amount of updates they do on a daily or even a weekly basis. So, you know, one of the things that we want to talk about, and we always talk about on this channel, is preparedness. So with the preparedness comes, being able to bypass these systems, such as if I couldn't get a text here to Vanita, then I could get on the radio, call home through my ham radio, which I did a video on just recently. If you can, check out the channel, check out the video. One of the other things that you can do is making sure that you have your go bags with you, because sometimes, especially if you have a modern vehicle with a digital update and software, it could turn around and cause your engines and that to stall, and cause you to be stranded. Carry cash with you. And be prepared to be able to have to stay somewhere, because a lot of car rental companies and a lot of these airlines that were affected by this can't accept cash, and of course they can't fly planes without the computer and radar systems being up. So you're going to be stuck wherever you're at the airport or wherever. You could get you a hotel room, you could get you a go basically, if you have family in there, go stay with family, or even sustain yourself at an airport with cash. A lot of places still take it, small businesses still do. So you may not be able to rent a car and get home, drive home. Or, maybe you will cross the water and, over in a different country and get stranded. So it's always something to really kind of think about.
That's true, because nobody carries cash anymore. And you do want to have cash, and you want to have small bills.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And, don't always rely on your debit card, because some of this actually took out some of the bank's operations, and it was just, like I said, it wasn't nothing malicious intent. It was just the actual hiccup in the system, from what they're telling us. That it was a hiccup in there, and it also could affect your supply chains. Your trucks, your ships, your trains. Several of the railroads were shut down for a period of time because they couldn't move the trains, because the dispatching software was trying to update or trying to revert back to its operations. So, it really kind of affected a lot today.
That's true. I mean, what if, it had affected the food chain, or in the future if something happens and it affects the food chain? That's when you might want to start thinking about having a garden. I grow greens and cucumbers, so if something happened with the food chain, we would have something to eat.
Right, and the other thing is making sure you have non-perishable foods and water stacked up. Even you don't even have to go out and buy bottled water. You could do such as I do with the military cans, filling them up with water. Or even they sell something on Amazon that allows you to fill up your bathtub and fill up the water, so you can actually keep it, for future use.
Yes.
So it's something to think about. With this that's going on, this was a kind of a wake-up call for everybody that should be preparing. You should have food, you should have preps, and then, something like this happens, it's not going to affect you.
Yes.
The people are going to be, as our friend Lead Farmer 73 says,
Yes.
they were begging for people up there, people were begging the man upstairs, and begging people down here because they didn't have. And you don't ever want to be in that situation. You want to be able to handle it and handle your business.
That's true. What about prescription meds?
Right, and you always want to make sure that you get an additional supply. Some of your, most of your doctors, and that will give you a month's extra supply of prescriptions. They'll write it for you. They won't write out 3 months of it, but another month's supply. That for your month and then a month ahead should get you through it in an emergency. So.
Yes.
You know, it's something to also think about, especially if you're on heart medicine or something that's a life-sustaining medicine. And also stock over-the-counter stuff such as cough and cold medicine. Benadryl comes in handy. You may not be able to go to the hospital because this really kind of also affected the hospitals.
Yes.
You know, so the hospitals, you know, were down. They were paper, so they were backed up. So if you have a bee sting and you're not to the level where you would go into epidemic shock, then, you know, you could take a Benadryl, you know, take a Tylenol Benadryl and kind of ride it out. You know, some of the stuff is take a basic first aid course.
Yes.
You know, sometimes certain things don't need a trip to the emergency room. You know, broken bones, serious stuff like that, yes, but, you know, small cuts and that you can handle them on your own. So, you know, I think that's pretty much about it.
Yes, it is.
So we want to say thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe. And stay healthy.
And
Stay blessed.